I can't talk too loud because my brother is in the house and he flits back and forth, and so it interrupts everything. But anyway, today's big story is the U.S. House of Representatives put forward one article of impeachment that I have just talked about in previous videos about Trump being charged with causing the insurrection at the Capitol, U.S. Capitol, last Wednesday. And so they have the votes to formally vote on it. I think they're giving Mike Pence time to invoke the 25th Amendment. But the vote is scheduled for Wednesday, I believe. And also, as we know, Mitch McConnell wants to drag out any kind of trial until the 19th of January, which is cutting it very, very close. And really, they should hold an emergency session and get it over with, because they only need 2/3 of those present to convict. And people like George Conway believe that the Democrats can get 17 Republicans to join in, and that's assuming to get the 67 votes needed. I think that's when the swearing in is. I believe is the 19th for the Senate. But anyhow, a big problem is if they wait till after he's left office on the 20th, assuming he leaves office, the big problem is, no, that's not it. The big problem is that according to a reporter for CNN, Daniel Dale, and I'm sure he's asked around, but if he's not removed before his term ends, he still gets all the bennies. He still gets all the bennies, and that's a giant loophole in the law, in federal law. He won't lose his pension. Unclear if he loses Secret Service even if removed. Even removal doesn't auto-ban him from a 2024 run. He probably doesn't get a big travel allowance anyway, because they have limits on how much former presidents can spend. But yeah, only if he's removed by the Senate can he be denied a pension. So he gets away with a slap on the damn wrist, basically. At least insofar as that goes. But we're going to see if Mitch McConnell is chicken shit and runs out the clock on a trial and removal. But I don't think they even have to do much of a trial. I mean, what trial do you need? I mean, how much witnesses do you need? I mean, he did it. He fomented insurrection. So, anyhow, yeah, I'm not real happy about that. And then there's warning that armed protests will happen in all 50 states if Trump is removed before Inauguration Day. And I don't think it matters if Trump is removed or not. I think they plan to do it anyhow. And so they've got, I think it's 10,000 National Guard are scheduled to be there at Biden's inauguration. He still insists on it being outdoors, that he's not going to be cowed into doing it in an undisclosed location. And then, let's see, I think that's probably it. Oh, and then another thing, I found that this morning there are other sites that these treasonous or terrorists or whatever you want to call them, these far-right people are going to. And Donald Trump supposedly went to a site called Cloud Hub and was posting stuff this morning, but I don't know if it's still there. There's also, I think, one called Telegraph or something that a lot of them are going to, a lot of these people, and they're organizing But I mean, you know, this stuff is really serious stuff. And it's a concern. But I can't even imagine anybody in the House not voting for impeachment. Anybody who doesn't vote to impeach him, they probably should be thrown out, expelled. Again, Democrats don't have the votes, and not enough Republicans will sign on to it. And in the Senate, you got Cruz and Hawley and some others who ought to be expelled. But at least corporate donors are starting to take action and refuse to support any future run for office. So anyway, that's kind of where it's at in terms of news on the insurrection or sedition front.